Hello, YouTube. We are carrying a couple of state officials from Kansas City International Airport to Springfield Regional. Today is part of Fickert Airways LLC. So this is going to be a pretty long tack. We are flying today from Kansas City International, KMCI, to Springfield-Branson Regional Airport, which is KSGF. Will be a VFR flight. As probably very shortly here, I will be getting up. Now I'm going to probably cut out a fair amount of this actual video. And this voiceover will be oh good, that's not a solid object.
International Tower, Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er at runway 1 right, ready for takeoff, north departure. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er, cleared for takeoff, runway 1 right, departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 1 right, Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er.
Gear up.
Alright, we are airborne. We are heading roughly southeast. About 145, 150.
Kilo Alpha Foxtrot, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved. Kansas City approach. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er is type Mooney Bravo, 4 miles east of Kansas City, 2,700. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er, Kansas City approach. Squawk 5157. Squawk 5157. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Orbit 1929er. You are 22 miles south. Turn right, heading 340. Descend and maintain. Cleared ILS, runway 1, right approach. Maintain 2,000 feet on Atlas on the localizer. Contact international towers on 128.2. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Radar contact 5 miles southeast of Kansas City, 3000. Cleared through the Bravo airspace. Maintain own navigation. Turn right, heading 340. Descend and maintain 2,800. Cleared ILS, runway 1, right approach. Maintain 2,800 until established. Tower on 128.2, orbit 1929er. Cleared through the Bravo airspace. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Contact Kansas City approach on 119.0. 119.0 for Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Kansas City approach. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er with you. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Kansas City approach. Roger. Altimeter 2992.
So we got downtown Kansas City coming up here. Flying almost directly over. And straight ahead of us, you can kind of see it here as I dip the nose down, is Royal and Arrowhead Stadium, or the Kansas City Royals and Kansas City Chiefs both fly, or both play out of.
Kansas City approach. Sword 7612 is at 8,700, descending 6,000. Sword 7612, Kansas City approach. Roger, altimeter 3018. Bravo, airspace. Kansas City approach, Cessna November 43. Cessna November 43. Squawk 2. Cessna 886, radar contact 3. Cleared through the Bravo. Sword 76, turn left heading 30. Kansas City approach, Cessna November 438. Cessna November 4. Sword 76, turn right heading 330. Squawk 4. Sword 7. Cessna 886, radar contact 5. Cleared through the Bravo. Turn left. Sword 76, turn left heading 2. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er, traffic is 1 o'clock, 4 mile. Sword 7612, traffic is 3 o'clock, 3 mile. Sword 7612, contact Kansas City. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er, have 118.9er, Sword 7612. Kansas City departure, Hyper November 3, Squawk 1, Hyper 265, radar con, copy. Kansas City departure, Hyper November 9er 326, clear 3 Bravo, airspace, Hyper 265. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er, you're leaving my airspace. Hyper 265.
And we're back to normal time here as we are flying to Springfield-Branson Regional Airport, which that is the town of Springfield there off in the distance. Now I'm very close to ordering the Mega Earth Scenery Pack, but we are to land downwind here. This is the airport's up here on the left. We are told to enter right and to land onto runway 32. So I think that's, yeah, I think that's the runway coming in from over in this general direction. So I'm not sure, but over there, the kind of that patch of land is probably either Republic or possibly
Springfield Tower, Bombardier, November 1376 Hotel, ready for IFR departure, runway 32. Bombardier, November 1376 Hotel, cleared for takeoff, runway 32. Cleared for takeoff, runway 32.
Well, we're going to find out very quickly which one 32 is. I'm pretty sure it's the one I'm heading to. It's the long one. We're basically flying perpendicular to it right now, not the runway that we're interdicting. But there's a Bombardier, either a Learjet or a CRJ, commercial regional jet 700 taking off. So we'll watch for them to go airborne. And that will tell us very, very quickly where we are. So we're descending Ooh, need to watch my airspeed here. Now, Springfield is a town. Oh, hey, that's interesting. See that one big kind of building out there? That is Darth Vader Tower. Named as such, it's a big black tower in the middle of Springfield. It's the tallest building in the area. Yep, that is 3-2. So we are going to the correct runway. So I think the John Q. Hammond's tower. He. John Q. Hammonds owned a lot of hotels. He was a hotelier, very, very rich man in the Springfield area, and half the buildings in the name and on the campuses of Drury and I guess it's now Missouri State Universities seem to bear his name. I forget which one was the Hammond School. I think it was the School of Architecture. At any rate, I'm very, very familiar with Springfield. I went to college here for 4 years. Actually, I guess lived and worked here for about closer to 5 years by the time you include work and going to college. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time here. The airport I was only to, well, actually a handful of times. We had one of the companies I worked for, the company I worked for right after college, had well, actually had some IT installs within the airport, and I would go out there and service what they had. And so I've been to that airport a number of times. The other times I was there was to see Air Force One flying in, actually. Which, seeing the presidential 747 come in there and land, I mean, they were, give the pilots credit, they were able to get it in there, land without any problems, but it almost looked as if it was, when it was on final, if it would never even approach there. But there was a pair of C-17s that traveled with it, and also the Air National Guard loves to do touch and goes here.
Cleared to land, runway 32. Cleared to land, runway 32. Kilo Delta Foxtrot 19er.
Now, surprisingly, there's a lot more regional traffic out of here than you'd think. It's expensive as hell to fly out of Springfield Regional. But they did start offering, as I left about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago now, flights to Chicago. And a lot of business people would fly direct to Chicago from Springfield Regional, bypassing, again, the need to go to St. Louis or Kansas City in order to catch a flight, as a lot of people would drive to one of those two airports. So yes, it's Darth Vader Tower. That's hilarious. Oh crap, I need to swing around here. So I should have taken a little bit wider of a swing out instead of following the runway perpendicular. Again, I'm used to flying jets and coming in on a carrier landing. Turbulence. Bad time for turbulence. I can't do a whole lot about that. I don't think it'll affect overall customer satisfaction, though, that much. Alright. Time to check gear down. A little bit more turbulence, great. We had 100% satisfaction going.
Should descend right.
Yeah, and I hear you. Descent rate. worried right now. 96%. It's very difficult to get 100%, although if you land very well in those type of conditions, they're typically very, very forgiving. So we're coming in, actually coming in rather hot, both in terms of rate of descent and airspeed.
Gear down.
And it helps if you remember to put your landing gear down.
US Alpha Foxtrot 19er, contact ground on 121.9er.
121.9er.
Too bad.
Foxtrot 19er. Springfield ground. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Taxi to the gate. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er. Taxi to gate Papa 1. Via taxiway November. Taxi to gate Papa 1. Using taxiway November. Kilo Alpha Foxtrot 19er.
So we need to go around here. Other than we almost forgot to put our landing gear down. It's going to be interesting to see. I have a feeling that I overstressed the knots on full flaps extended by a few knots. We'll see what that is. And then I need to review documentation to find out where we are. But nonetheless, despite an early morning, almost near mental mistake on the gear, we landed safely. So at any rate, I've watched C-130's touch and goes runway departures here over and over again with the Air National Guard. That's actually based out of London. It's where the C-130s are based out of. Many, 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 many times. To somebody who worked at the tower once upon a time, they said they love that because they just sat there with a clicker counter and just, you know, cha-ching, cha-ching fees, rack up the landing fees to charge the Air National Guard. So here we are at Springfield-Branson Regional Airport. Come on, parking brakes, there we go. Alright, time to turn off the seatbelt setting. And open the doors. Thank you for Figured Airways, state employees. As people returned from Kansas City recruiting for SMS. Yes, there we go. Or, I'm sorry, Missouri State. When I went down there, it was still Southwest Missouri State or SMS, and I think in my mind it shall always be SMS. In fact, I could go visit some friends of mine. I got still several college buddies who live down here. In fact, my college roommates still live down here in Springfield. So we're into flight, and be ready for our next one. Well, I'll tell you what the end results were here momentarily. Alright, that is a perfect flight. Got 291 points, though. We lost points because I used time acceleration, so I'll know not to do that in the future. But no problems with the stall. It was considered to be a good landing, and I didn't put a time. I now know that it will take about an hour to an hour and 5 minutes in order to traverse this route. It was the first time on the route, and I don't like to do that because then if you arrive too early or too late, you get docked a bunch of points. So the first time around, I always... Oh, wait. I'm writing this down in my logbook that I have next to me here. Alright, I think it's time to pick up some more passengers and head to Jeff City. So, see you on the next video. or next time.